Hello, my YouTube friends! Overlays take forever to design and a lot of skill to create. That's probably why the #1 question I get on my channel is where can I get free overlays? And there are some out there, but the problem is they're all presets. There's no customization. So you can't change them for your channel colors to make them look just the way you want. Well, that was until now. Today, I want to show you a new overlay site that lets you customize everything so you can make it your own. There are thousands of options and it's fully integrated into Stream Deck, so you can even change it on the fly if you want. The best part is it's totally 100% free. I can't wait to show you this, so you know what? Let's get to it! The name of the overlay site is called overlays.uno. There is a link in the description down below so you can check it out for yourself. Like I said, it's totally free. Let's dive right in and I'm gonna show you how it works. This is overlays.uno right here and the layout is super simple. So you got home, library, and I know your eye just came to this pricing thing right here, and then you have collapse, which just collapses this. Well, what is pricing? I thought you said it was free, Mike. Oh, you guys are gonna love this. So right here, you can use everything in Uno for free. And if you decided that you don't like these ads over here on the right-hand side, then you can pitch in and help them out a little bit. But this is where all the money comes from. So you don't have to pay anything to use this massive library of overlays. Now, I do recommend right off the bat that you log in. And you're saying, Mike, why do I log in? Are they gonna try to sell me something later? No. The way these overlays work, you want to be logged in so that you have the ability to actually save so the site remembers the settings that you used on all your overlays. Otherwise, when you go back in there, if you change the colors or the text or anything like that, well, it's going to be reset back to the way it was originally. So just sign up, log in, and you're all set. And by the way, it doesn't cost you anything. So let's go ahead and sign up. Why not? And we're going to sign up. Now, we could just continue with Google. That would work. And I think I'm just going to do that. And there we go. It's really that simple. Now I'm signed in. So now I know that all of my layouts and color changes and everything is going to be saved. So let's take a look at what we actually get. We can go over here and now you can see this changed up a little bit. We've got my overlays up here at the top and we have my images right here. We're going to go to the library because of course we don't have any overlays yet. We can also select new overlay and add one to our team, which is basically the same as going to the library. Now over here we've got all sorts of libraries that we can choose from. So you can start with functions or a category or a theme or data sources where it's gonna get specific information or tickers or something like that. But what we can also do is go up here to the type and it really depends what we're gonna do. So I think for this video, I'm gonna go ahead and build out an entire stream so that you guys can see how this is gonna work. So I think we're gonna build a game stream and let's go ahead and start out with a full screen piece here. And I selected full screen because it has our countdown timers. And there are a whole bunch of epic countdown timers. I like this one. So we're gonna go ahead and select this one and we're gonna add it to our overlays. And there we go. And what we do once we add it to our overlay is we're gonna double click on it and it's gonna bring up this page right here. Now the output URL as a browser source in OBS, vMix, and everything else is all we need to do. It gives you a little bit of an instruction here, the URL in desktop mode and tablet for a browser dock, and then the API token for the Stream Deck. We can turn on or off this. We can set up the hours, minutes, and seconds. We can customize it for minutes and seconds or hours, minutes, and seconds. Pretty much whatever we want. We're going to do minutes and seconds. We can do this going live in so we can change the text at the top. We can change the background color and the text color. So my text colors are generally yellow. So we're going to go with a yellow as our text color. And I know it's the Matrix, but that's okay. We're going to change it up so it is my stream colors. And we'll go with a darker blue just because it makes more sense. And that looks pretty good. So we've got that all squared away. we can go into our settings and we can have a number of different panels so that we can have a countdown timer for the going live in, and we can have a countdown timer for a break or whatever we decide to take there. Now we can go over here into control and we can set this up and just click play and it will start counting down. You can have a countdown end message that says the stream is starting, and there we go. So let's just mess around with this and we'll go with 0 minutes and we'll go with 10 seconds. And we're gonna just reset it so we can see our going live in and then what the animation looks like when we switch over. And there we go. So that is how this countdown timer is going to work. All we have to do is go ahead and copy the URL, and look, that's pretty cool too. But we're just gonna copy the URL. We're gonna come over here into our blank and we're gonna right click on here. We're gonna rename this and we're just gonna call it countdown. We can click on here, go to browser, and we'll call this countdown timer. And all we have to do is paste in here, and we're going to go with a full screen. And there is no audio here, so we're not going to add any. We're going to click OK. And now our countdown timer is running. So we can go and select our countdown timer, we can reset it, and now we can play it. And when we go into our OBS, you can see our countdown timers doing what it's supposed to do. Now, of course, there are so many different countdown timers that you can use in here. If we go to our full screen, or we just select countdown, and look at all these. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go with a full screen again, and we're going to scroll down here and find a game scene. So there's this game Spartan here, and there's a game frame PNG right here. And of course, if you're doing some sort of a sporting or podcasting, you're going to find all of that stuff here, and it looks professional. You know why? Because they do it for the professionals. You're just getting access to it for nothing. Pretty freaking sweet. We're gonna go with this game frame Spartan. I kind of like it. Let's go and add this to my overlays, and we can see it right here. And we're gonna double click on it, and let's take a look at all of the things that we can customize with this. The first thing we're gonna do is go and customize our color scheme, and we've got our accent color here and our bounding box, which we can turn on or off. We've got our main color. We can change up our title, which is this right here. Right now it is white. We've got player 1, player 2, all that kind of stuff. We can change up the colors for either one of those. We can go into settings and turn our preview window on or off. We can change the theme just like before, and we can change the number of panels. We've also got our game frame where we can adjust the title. Whatever game we want to play, let's go. There we go. We can change the name of each player. We can change all that right here. Red team, blue team. That works just fine. We're going to go in here and customize our colors. So what we're going to do is change this up to be the colors that I use. So we're going to go first here, and we're going to go with our blue. And then we've got this right here, and it's probably going to be a lighter blue, but that'll make a lot more sense if that's a darker blue, I think. We're going to go and change up our title color because, of course, we're going to go with my streaming colors, the colors that I always use. So there we go. And, of course, here is where you see the scores go up and down. We're going to go and copy our URL, and we're going to create a page for this. So let's call this game and click OK. And this time, instead of doing all of that work, what we're going to do is we're going to minimize that. And we're just going to do this. And boom. You can see it automatically creates it. We can rename it by going in here and renaming. And we can call it game overlay. And now it's already set up. All we have to do is add our game in the background. That's really simple to do. We're going to click the plus. And we can either add a game capture or a display capture. I like to use display capture. We're going to call this game vid and click OK. And we just select the monitor that we want to grab. And we're going to embiggen this. And I'm just going to put it behind our game overlay. Now we're all set. When we're playing our game, we're going to see it. We just need to add sound. So we're just going to leave sound out of the mix for now. What I think we should do is create a dock so that we can add and remove the score. So we're going to go into docs and we're going to go to custom browser docs and we're going to call this one score. And what we need to do then is go over here and we're just going to grab this right here to copy the URL. We're going to come over here and we're going to paste that in there and we're going to apply it, and there is going to be our score. So we can basically drag and drop this here. Now we have everything that we need to adjust the score for our red team and our blue team. So somebody gets a point, boom, there we go. Oh, and by the way, we can also go and customize all of our colors and settings. So if we had a different overlay set up, we just go to the next one. I love the fact that you can dock all of these so that you can change them up in real time. All right, so our third scene, I want to do some sort of talking head intermission scene. So I'm going to select package here and I'm going to scroll down here and we're going to need to repurpose something so it looks like what we want. And I think we're going to do this 2-box Polaroid here. So I'm going to select this, I'm going to add it to my overlays, and then I'm going to double click to open it up. You can see every one of these is going to have its own control and layout. So we're going to start with control and it'll allow you to turn all this stuff on and off. And you can see that all of this stuff has really cool animations when it comes on and off as well. So we can dock this over on the side and turn it on and off and have cool animations come in and out while we're live streaming. Where it says Los Angeles, I'm going to put, and where it says New York, I'm going to put chat. All right, so now we've got our boxes labeled. We can go into names, and over here, I think what I'm going to do is just remove anything at all. So now we've got a chat box and we've got my name and we've got a ticker here, which I'm not super fond of. So I'm going to just turn the ticker off and we're going to add something there on our own. And we can go over here and we can customize pretty much everything. So I'm going to bring up our OBS here. We're going to go and we're going to call this intermission and we're going to just drag this over here and boom. We'll right click and we're going to rename this and boom. So we've got everything we need. Now we do have that little line in there and I don't know that there's any way to remove that line. So we are going to add some text here. So now, now we've got some stuff. What I want to do is I want to build on there. I liked the ticker. I just didn't like the information. So overlay.uno gives you the opportunity to kind of build something on top. So what I'm going to do is go back into our libraries. Instead of this package here, we want kind of more like a scroll for social media or something like that. So let's just put in here social and see what we get. So we've got this little lower third social loop ticker. There we go. That's kind of what we're looking for right there. So what I'm going to do is click on it. We're going to add this to my overlays and we're going to come and double click in here. How we can use this, it's really simple. You guys are going to love this. We're going to just drag this out of here and I'm going to drag that like that and we're going to add this and I will right click here and we're going to go ahead and rename it. And we can move our overlay around just like that, so it doesn't have to stick where it puts it. You could put it wherever you want. And now we could go and modify it. So we'll go over here and let's see what we want. Now you could delete text to hide it. So we don't want our Discord or Discord message or our email address, but we could do this. And there we go. We could put our Instagram handle. Boom. We could do Kick, which I don't have. We could do LinkedIn. Nobody cares. Pinterest. No, thank you. Rumble. I'm going to leave it in there. Snapchat. No. We're going to leave TikTok in there. We'll leave our Twitch in there. I'm not going to put it in there. I got X. Same thing. YouTube. Of course, you guys are here. You could do any custom. Now we should just basically have all of the socials that we're interested in. So if we go back over here, you're going to see it comes up. It's going to do the thing. Friend me up at my Facebook. Check me out on my Instagram. That's all I really wanted. A nice little ticker. All we have to do is add a camera, which is pretty simple. And we can add chat in here with Social Stream Ninja or however you want to add it. So all we would really need now is maybe a stream has ended and a be right back. Well, let's create some of those. So for our be right back scene, I think what I want to do is build it myself. So I'm going to go ahead and select the lower thirds option, and they have something really cool called these little wizard scenes. So I'm going to come down here until we get to it. I know it's here. So here you see it, lower third wizard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a whole bunch of them here. We're just going to use the one, and we're going to add it to my overlays, and I'm going to double click to open up the wizard here. And for this, we're going to just do simple stuff. I'm just going to go in here and change the text. There we go. That tells you exactly what you need to know, and you can see how this appears and disappears. We can make it our color, and we can modify the titles to make them bigger. Down here, you can adjust the corners, so these can be rounded or whatever. You can literally set up to adjust these lower thirds in any way that you want. Turn them on and off. You can obviously create multiple lower thirds as well. So what I'm going to do is open up our OBS, and we're going to add another one, and I'm gonna open up our window here, and we're just gonna drag this over, and we'll rename it. We'll make it bigger, and there we go. And one thing I would like to see is if they could put some of this stuff kind of on a loop, and that would be really nice. I'd like to see that, so that we don't have to come in here and just turn it on and off to get the kind of loop that we want. Now what we can do is we can copy this URL. We can go into our OBS and go to docs, and we'll just create a custom browser doc. We just need the button, right? And there we go. So next, I think it would be cool to add some effects to this screen. Believe it or not, they have some cool effects. So we're going to turn off our lower thirds. We're going to go to full screen. I want to do this lens effect. We're going to add it to my overlays, and I'm going to double click on it. And you can see it's just a lens flare. We can customize it and all that kind of stuff. We just want to add kind of a cool effect. So we're just going to drag this over top, click yes. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and rename it, and we'll just call this flare, and there we go. We can add other stuff. I would probably put music in the background, and we can turn it on and off, and we've got our little lens flare that comes around once in a while. We can put an image in the background. Now the other thing that we can do is they have some image type things over here. So if we go into our library, we can go here, and we've got an image loop. So it would play like an image loop. We'll add this to our overlay, and if we go into it, we can add a whole bunch of different images and all that sort of stuff that we want to come up. So in this case, he's using it as maybe a sponsor loop or something like that. So we can add a whole bunch of logos in here to add it to our sponsor loop. Let me show you how you might use something like this. Now I'm not going to put all my logos in there, but if we went into our game scene and we wanted to add our sponsor loop, it's pretty simple. So we'll just go and click on here, and we'll drag it on there, and yes. And now we've got our sponsor loop, and we can just shrink this up, put it anywhere we want on the screen. And now this will just loop through our sponsors. We can go into our intermission scene. I can click here, go to browser source, and we can go to add existing sponsor, click OK, and there it is right there. Let's select it. We can shrink it up to put it pretty much anywhere that we want. And there we go. You can add all kinds of really cool flair to any of these scenes. Let me show you what I mean. We're going to go and select full screen again, and they've got effects in here for days. This film effect, a grunge effect, a light leak effect. Those are effects that you can add over top of any scene. But the other cool thing that they have is this right here. So let's add this to our overlay. And there are a bunch of different types of these that you're going to find littered throughout overlays.uno. So you're going to be able to do all kinds of cool stuff. So we've got emojis, and you can select the emoji. So of course what I'm going to do first is we're going to go and we're going to add this into our docs. So docs, custom browser docs. So now we've got our emoji waterfall, and we just have to add it into our scene, and we can customize it if we want the amount, so we can go with more or less. We can do the speed, slow or fast. We can change up the settings. So maybe you want to do an emoji waterfall for love or any of the other things. We can actually set up so there's 3 different ones already created. Pull this down, drag this over top. We can turn it on and off right here. and we can make a selection. So there we go. Boom. Hey, now we've got some like emojis on the screen, and then we can just turn it off and they fade away. We can go in here and, oh, we got some angry emojis. Now you can add this to any scene. Now I don't think I even need to tell you that we're just scratching the surface of what you can do with overlays.uno. You can build some absolutely amazing stuff. You know why? Because this is all professional stuff. If you want to do anything sporting related with overlays or tickers or a news broadcast or a comedy broadcast or anything like that, this is what you want. Because it's all designed by professionals for professional broadcasting. And you're getting access to it for free. Now, the best part is when you set these up, if you want to have a ticker or something like that, well, if you're a news broadcaster, you're not updating your own ticker. Well, in this case, you don't have to do that either. You can have a remote producer from anywhere in the world be able to update your tickers on their web browser, and it will update your live stream. I'm not even kidding. All you have to do is share those little QR codes, and you can have a remote producer update your tickers or anything, or even activate any of the emotes or reactions. In fact, the way that these emotes work and react, and the fact that you can set them up with Stream Deck, means that you can actually set them up to use in something like StreamerBot so that your audience can animate the emojis and choose the emojis and things like that. Believe it or not, those are all things that are possible to integrate in using overlays.uno. I'm just scratching the surface here. You gotta play with it yourself because I don't want to overwhelm you. I told you it was amazing. Now for all you Stream Deck users, I want to show you how overlays.uno integrates. But first, I work really hard to try to create content that I think you're going to enjoy. Sometimes I hit, sometimes I miss, but it's really hard to know for sure. Now that's where you can really help me out. If you like this video, do me a favor and leave me a thumbs up. And if it's not your cup of tea, it's perfectly fine to leave it a thumbs down. Now, if everyone watching this video leaves it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, I'm definitely going to know whether you like this content and I should make more. So thumbs up, thumbs down right now. Let's get back to the video and thank you very much. All right, so here we have our Stream Deck with a new profile, and I'm just going to go to Settings and Plugins, and I'm going to click the plus down here, and we'll just type Uno in here to search, and it's right here. So we'll click on here, and if you're not logged in, you're going to have to, or if you don't have an account, you'll have to get one. And we're just going to click Open in Stream Deck, and we can go in here, and overlays.uno is installed. And if we go here, we should see it right there, and we can check for updates and all that fun stuff. But either way, now it's in there. So how does it work? Well, all we have to do is drag one of these in there, and we'll kind of show you. So you put your title in there, and you put a token in there. You get the tokens on the web pages right here, or since we already have a couple of them in our OBS, you can see here that we have tokens for the ones we may want to use. So in this case, we're going to use this Uno token. I'm just going to copy the token to the clipboard, and then what we can do is go in here and put that token in there, and I'll give you some idea of the kind of things that you can do. So we have show overlay, and you can select to show or hide or toggle whatever overlay you're trying to modify. In this case, because we use the token for our emoji one, we can toggle it on and off. So if we go over here into OBS, if I go ahead and hit that button on my Stream Deck, you can see that it toggles on and off our love emoji. So what we can do is we could set this up to have a bunch of different emojis, but what if we wanted to set this button up to change to different emojis and do all that stuff? Let's go ahead and delete that one, and I'm going to use a multi-action button right here. We'll just drag it over, and in this multi-action, let's call this sad, and what I'm going to do then is drag in an Uno control, and in our Uno control, I'm going to call this sad as well, and I'm going to paste our token in there again, and instead of showing the overlay, I want to set some overlay fields. And so in here, we've got the love value set, and I want to change it to sad. Then what I can do is bring this over here and change this to toggle, and we'll paste our token in there again, and I can set our thing to toggle right here, so it'll toggle it on and off. So it sets it to sad, and then it toggles it on and off. So all I have to do then is go and bring up our OBS, and I can click the sad button, and you can see it puts it on, changes it to sad, and we get that. And then I can click it again, it toggles it off. So if I wanted to do this for another of the emojis, I can just copy it, and then I can just paste it right here. All I have to do is go into the 2 actions, change this from sad, and we'll call it thumbs up, and go down here and change it to like, I guess it's called. And we'll go back over here, call it thumbs up, or we'll just change it to like. So now when we bring up our OBS, we can hit our like, and you can see it changes the emoji, adds it to the like, change it to sad. There we go. So we hit it again and it toggles it off. Hit the like, it toggles it on, changes it to like. There we go. So that's basically how it works, but let me show you some other settings that you might see. We're gonna go with this game frame, or actually let's go with our lower third here. We're gonna copy our Uno token for our lower third. We're gonna drag one of these in here, and we're just gonna paste in our token to give you some idea of the kind of things that you can do. So we can show it and hide it simply with a button. You have the hide, the toggle, everything that we had before. And of course we can change overlay fields, and you'll see each one of these is going to have different fields that you can change. The one that's really interesting is this customized JSON or set overlay constant, because what you can do is you can go down here and I can just change the text. So I can change it from soon to be right back or whatever. So basically I can have a bunch of buttons that will just change the text. If we wanted to go here and we have overlay customization, we can change customization fields, but the JSON here is the magic once again. So we can go in here and you can see that we can set the buttons differently. We can add different effects and change the background color. We can add drop shadow and blur and all kinds of stuff. You can literally change the size, the space, the color, anything that you want to change within that overlay, you can change using the set customization JSON, which gives you access to do pretty much anything that you could possibly imagine. So if you want a green one and a gray one and a blue one, or you want a big one and a small one, you want different text, no matter what, you can create buttons to do all of those things. And the same thing will work with tickers and that sort of stuff, which means that you can change those on the fly or have a bunch of different ticker layouts set up that you can just change using your Stream Deck. It's an incredibly powerful tool, and not any other overlay tool is going to give you that kind of access to create anything that you want and be able to control it in Stream Deck. Not only that, but because you can control it and create buttons in Stream Deck, that means that you can also have your audience control it using StreamerBot or something like that through text or other means. It's a really powerful tool. Now, the Overlays.Uno product is fairly new, but these guys have been creating overlays for live sports and TV news broadcasts for years. They know what they're doing. You don't see overlay styles or features that you want here? Well, that's not a problem at all. Nearly everything you see on the website has been built or improved based on the feedback that they've been given on their Discord server, and you can join it right now. Oh, and that's totally free too. There is a link in the description. So join the Discord server and tell them what you want, or how to improve anything that's already there. Now, you guys should definitely tell me what you think about Overlay.Uno's tool, and tell me how you're going to use it on your streams in the comments section below. I really want to hear about it. And if you want to learn a bit about how you can build your own overlays using AI, you should check this video out. And if you want to learn how to become a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Feyrer Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.